be live sometime soon.
Yep.
Perfect.
Okay, no crap words anymore.
No crap words anymore. Yeah. As we're live, that's the first thing that people hear is no crap words anymore. Yeah, you missed it. I guess Alyssa and Diane. I was literally, I looked down, I see Deb, and I'm like, oh, there's Deb. But as I see her, I see, and she doesn't believe me, but I see at the same time it's 3:31. I'm like, there's Deb. Oh crap, meaning, oh crap, we're late. But my shorthand came out, there's Deb. Oh crap.
And that's how Deb interpreted it. Yes, there's Deb. Oh crap.
It's all about where the exclamation mark is, isn't it? In a sentence like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was a great chuckle for the day.
Exactly.
All right. A rough week. I needed that chuckle, let me tell you.
Well, good. I'm glad I could provide that chuckle for you.
Yeah, it worked.
I'm just trying to find here so that I can watch. So if anybody out there is joining us, I did put the link. You can either join us on Facebook and just watch us and put some comments, or you can actually come and join us live. You can see that, yeah, my dog's in the background, Sandra's in the back. We're all still here. I didn't worry about my green screen today because I'm literally jumping right from here into a boot camp call. And then it's been back to back to back today. And then we're getting ready. I still haven't even started packing and we're leaving tomorrow for San Jose.
Phew. Holy, you need to take a breath.
I do. And I still have a bunch of stuff that I have to email Diane that I was going to email over the weekend that I haven't gotten to. I'm pulling that. They're half done because I don't want to forget about them. So they're coming.
Yeah, no worries. No worries.
They're coming. They're coming. I've just got to put that logo on, like 2 left, 2 more, and then boom, they're done.
Yeah, we know. Don't worry. Not a biggie.
I take it Jessica survived her illness from last time.
I did.
That's right.
Yeah.
Have video on.
We didn't get to see her. I didn't get to see her kitty. I like her kitty.
Oh, yeah, she's sleeping today. She's mad at me because she was wearing a Halloween shirt all day yesterday. So she's keeping her distance because she's afraid that another outfit will come out. So you probably won't see her today.
Oh, somebody's upside down. Oh, Bianca, now she's gone.
You probably saw that.
I did.
Sorry. Yeah, we couldn't get her camera to work at all earlier. So she's like, I'll disconnect and try to reconnect and see what
happens. We go.
There we go.
I had to full reboot.
Wow. The first time you came in, you were upside down.
Yeah, that was me trying to play with the other settings before I had to reboot.
Oh, that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so welcome everybody to our today's Friday version of Beyond the Cloud. So just off the top of my head, a nice question to get things started from, considering we're doing conference week next week. I know some conferences change places. So is there, and I know not everybody here has been to conferences, so is there a place that you have enjoyed going to a conference or that you would like to enjoy going to a conference?
I like Vegas.
Sorry?
I like conferences in Vegas.
In Vegas.
Well, because then there's so much to do outside of the conference. You don't feel like obligated just to, I don't know.
And that makes sense. That makes sense.
What, obligated to go to classes and sessions?
You're like, sessions.
Like a lot of conferences are in hotels where you literally are trapped in that hotel. And you can actually see shows and make more of your trip per se.
Yeah.
Oh, see.
Tag on time before and after and stuff.
And I was going to help you with saying, if you're going to the poker tables or the, any of those, that, you're learning negotiating skills.
Andrea should be here and she can tell us.
I was thinking of. Exactly. Exactly.
Any place warm. Right?
Yeah.
And for us Canadians, Vegas is warm.
Yeah.
San Jose, right, where you're going to next week. That was fabulous because it's in November. Yep. So to get out of this weather, perfect timing.
Exactly.
Places that have direct flight access.
Yes.
Layovers.
That's another one.
Yeah.
No, well, that's how we do when we go to San Jose. We just fly into San Francisco.
Yeah.
It's an hour drive, but I'm not interested in doing, a layover and then having to, potentially run to the other side to catch a connecting flight or something like that. No, I'm done with that. So, but it's nice to be able to go places.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what we're doing.
Delayed. Ugh.
Oh, I know that's
catching flight. Yeah, your flight's coming in and the catching flight's already leaving and you're just barely landing. Oh yeah, that's
exactly. I'm not interested in any of that. But no, what we've got. So when we do San Jose, last year the girls went and did Winchester House. So we always try to get into some place for at least a day so that we can do something. So then so Winchester House, there was a movie about it that came out a few years ago, and it's really neat that the world's. They could like talk about it a lot better. I've seen the movie and heard about it before, but it's a mansion that I guess the Henry Winchester, I think was his name. Maybe it wasn't Henry, but who invented the Winchester gun way back. And it was his widow. And the ghosts essentially were the ghosts of the people that were killed with these guns haunting her. So she had to continuously build onto this mansion. So for 35 years, there was constant construction, 24/7 in shifts. And then they had stairs that led to nowhere so that it would confuse the ghosts. And she changed bedrooms every day. So it's really interesting. So they did that. And then this year, we're actually going to go in. We're leaving tomorrow. And then on Monday, we just leave tomorrow to go to Toronto. So Saturdays or Sundays are real travel day. But then Monday we're doing a tour of San Francisco, and then we're going to Alcatraz.
Cool! I can't wait to see the pictures.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll be posting them on Facebook probably at least every night, if not in real time. A few in real time, but.
Yeah, for sure. San Francisco is a fantastic place. I've probably been to San Francisco at least 8 or 9 times. It used to be a really great weekend getaway from here because the flight's not, it's a couple hours.
Right.
And if it was a long weekend, we would go often for our anniversary or that kind of stuff. And there's so much to see and do in San Francisco.
Nice. Like that's like from here, if you're going to go any from here, it's down to Florida.
Yeah,
that's where our cheap flights are, down to Florida, because it's, mind you, the old days, we used to be able to get it for like $99, right? Not so much anymore, but yeah.
You'll love. Have you been to San Francisco before?
No, I haven't. We've always gone to the airport and that's it.
Yeah, you'll love it. It's a fantastic place, and you can take you said you're going to do a city tour.
Yes, we're going to do a bus tour.
Oh, good. So they'll show you the Crooked Street and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. So that should be fun. Miss Lil from the US.
Lil. Hi, everybody.
Excuse me. Oh, here's Leanna. I'm glad you typed because I didn't see you. I wasn't looking at my other screen, so thank you for that. And Leanna's right behind you. So
how is everybody?
There she is.
Good. Hello. Good. How are you? So what we've been talking about, and Bianca answered. Diane, I kind of got off track, and Diane got off track with me. So nobody else other than Bianca's really answered is because next week is conference week in San Jose. So where is either the most favorite place that you've been at a conference or the place that you might most like to go to a conference at?
Maui?
Yeah, I was going to say Hawaii is next for sure.
Yes. I can't argue that one.
But I like Bianca's. I like Las Vegas because there's just so many things to do. Anything.
There's energy all day, every day because of the oxygen.
Melissa! Oxygen. Hi.
Yeah.
I just have
and the shoe shopping.
Yeah, right.
Nice. All right. Anybody else have any thoughts?
I'd like Las Vegas too. That'd be nice. Or if not, I'd like to go somewhere like in the Carolinas, like Charleston or something. Just something kind of different and warm and
Warm is the consensus so far, so that we all agree on.
Yeah.
But since Jessica's already in the warm, where's she gonna go?
She is.
It's funny because once I attended a conference in Minneapolis in late November, so it was -5 degrees, and everybody was complaining, and I was like, "Oh, this is nice," especially because I had just returned from a Caribbean cruise, so I had been in the sun a lot. So I felt like I was finally cooling down. But I agree. Conferences in Vegas are lots of fun. I don't really get to travel for conferences anymore, so I don't like the idea of having to fly anywhere because it's just not realistic. So given that I am in Florida, I would love to attend conferences in Orlando because then I have a higher chance of being able to go because we are annual pass holders for the theme parks. I can just sell it to my husband as a family vacation. You guys have fun at the parks. I'll be at the conference. I've gone to some that have been at Disney hotels or others that have been at Universal hotels. So you're on site. You just leave a session and hop on the bus or the boat and go into a park.
Wow.
Cool.
So how far are you from Orlando then?
About 2 hour drive.
Okay. Okay. Well, if you want to try to get together at some point when we take the Caribbean cruise, we're going down early, December 18th. So we'll be like 4 days in Cocoa Beach.
Okay, so that's a couple of hours north of me. Cool.
So if you feel like taking a day trip, it's not going to be as easy for me to get to you, but I can certainly keep you occupied for the day up there. My husband wants to go on a boat, go fish. So we are driving down, but he wants to go to the boat, go fishing one day. And I have no interest in going fishing. So yeah, we'll have to talk offline if we want to try and get to, get together. If it works, great. If not, I get it.
Try to figure out the logistics.
Yeah. And I get, like, if it doesn't work, it's a few hours is difficult. I get it.
Well, the challenge is I don't have a car of my own by choice. Like, I just don't want the expense of having my own car because I work from home. I don't really need it. So anything like that, it needs to work around with my husband's schedule. It means everybody's coming.
Of course.
But we've been to Cocoa Beach before. I've gone to conferences there, so I am familiar with the area.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Turn it into, see if you can turn it into, again, a pre-Christmas getaway.
Well, there is a zoo that's not too far, and I was already telling my husband, hey, I kind of want to take the kids to the zoo. It's been a while. And we homeschool, so the Kennedy Space Center is not too far, so I will say field trip,
You know what? And we actually share, because Sherry Lee Mathers is coming as well, too. And Sandra and Leanne are driving down, so they're going to meet us afterwards because they're going to come down. I think they're staying afterwards to go to Orlando, but Sherry Lee and I are going to be there ahead of time. And the Space Center is on our list.
It's a really cool place. I mean, I am a nerd, so I really love it. Other people think it's boring.
You know what we did? So I've been there twice. Once when my daughter was 1, and then we went back 3-4 years ago, I think. And they have the most amazing thing there. You can have lunch with an astronaut. Yes. So we did that. And I will tell you, when I looked at the astronauts that they had, we had lunch with probably the best person that I could have picked off on there. He was the first, and I want to say this so that I'm not offending anybody because I know it's all changed. I want to say the first African American. I think that's still politically correct, but the first African American in space. He's also the only person in the world at that point in time that had his qualifications, because what happened, he got up, so he's done so many firsts, and he was in the Air Force, and he liked fast cars. So when he was 8, his dad and his dad's friends used to drive him around in fast cars. So then he ended up going and serving and ended up just jumping around, and he really liked working on planes and driving fast planes. Then he got bored and he jumped over to helicopters. Then he got bored and jumped over to something else. And so NASA reaches out and they said, we want a list of everybody in the armed forces or anybody that you're aware of with all of these qualifications. And just because he got bored and jumped around so much, he was the only single person with those qualifications. So then he jumped over and became an astronaut. Oh. So he had the most interesting story, again, because he was, the first at so many things and had such a unique story. I couldn't imagine a better person to have lunch with. So it's not, we're sitting there again. He didn't sit. Did he end up at our table? I think he did end up at our table, but you've got like 20 tables, and he gets up and talks in the room and then picks a table to sit down and has lunch at. And then we got pictures with him at the end, but it was just really, really amazing.
Cool.
So we went to a conference in Nashville, And that was pretty amazing location. The hotels, the Grand Ole Opry, like they kind of, it's sort of like Vegas because there's nothing really close by per se. So they build these entire like mini cities within these hotels, and it's just awesome. And a quick cab ride to have an entertainment district and having the history, having culture there was super amazing. I liked that as well.
And the very best conference was in New Orleans.
Oh, I know, I missed that one.
That was very cool.
And was that before or after?
That was after the hurricane.
That was
Okay,
maybe
so
4
when
years
they had
ago.
already started to rebuild and whatnot?
Yeah. It was quite a few years after, but we did tour the whole area. It was just fantastic, and love the French Quarter and so much stuff to see there too. Yeah.
Awesome. Anybody else have any favorites? Alyssa, you're quiet.
Yeah, I'm still playing with some of my technology. They're kind of new toys for me. So testing this and testing that. And
Can we help you with one?
well, I think I finally figured out my camera.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I hadn't used the camera on this laptop before. I've got a little slice from Zero that goes over it.
Right.
It was one of their giveaways.
Yep.
Since I'm usually here and I'm in my nightie. I keep
Yes,
it.
I have one of those here too.
Yep.
Bye.
It's
Yep,
a
on
lovely little
everyone.
lifesaver.
Yep, on everyone. If I could put one on my little phone too, I would, just in case, I would do that on my phone.
All the sliders don't work in my camera, so I have a post-it note that I bent to put over the camera.
Oh, that's smart.
I don't need it. I am about to just buy a new camera just so I can use something better than a piece of paper.
But
it
I
works.
used to use post-it notes. You've already got them. They're cheap and they're free. Why not? But yeah, these ones, if I can get, like, I get them at conferences, I'm like, sure, I'll bring them home and put them on. I wouldn't pay for them though. Oh, sorry, you're muted, Bianca.
She's still muted.
Oh.
We can't hear
Oh.
you.
There we go.
So what is the best conference swag you guys have ever gotten?
Oh. Ooh.
Well, not like winning, like that like you could have gotten a trade show at a booth, not like for entering a draw.
Give your rocket book. Intuit gave away, oh, it's not here? You might have hers? Okay. Intuit was giving away, it's almost a rocket book at Salt Lake City.
Oh, cool, yeah.
So
Really?
it's like, I think it's that's the one. So it's not quite a rocket book, but it kind of works similar. It's kind of like the cheaper version of the rocket book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got like a moleskin, same kind of idea.
But this one's different, right? This one has got graph paper in it. and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Every-
There's a real rocket book Leanna's got.
Oh, I
Every
have so many
page.
rocket books. There's more. I am addicted. I buy more than I need.
Like,
Wow.
I don't know if you can see this one, but this one's got like graph.
Oh, you're
Where
putting
you
Wrong
are.
camera, Mom.
Where
yeah,
are
on
you? Just
camera.
a second. Yeah.
There we go.
It's actually got graph paper and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
in
we
it.
can see it. Yeah.
And it's glossy. Like the paper's glossy.
Yep.
And this is from Intuit. But then I got this pen to go with it. And I think it's not the same pens that work in the rocket books.
No, it's different because that's more of
Yeah.
a dry erase. It's a cheap version of the rocket book.
Yeah, and you can it only shows up, like you can't write with this one. The rocket book ones you can.
Right.
If you're writing on a regular paper. This one, you can only write on this glossy paper that's in the Intuit one. So it's kind of cool. It's a bit different. I think it's more for drawing out things.
Are those? Yeah, the same ones we got. Yeah. There's Leanna's with her pens. Are those rocket book pens only, Leanna?
Yeah.
Different colors. Oh, that's cool. I like the rainbow.
Yeah.
pens.
And Leanna, do you know you can get the highlighters now too?
Yeah. And the little squares that you can put on your boards.
Yes. And the erasers, of course.
Jessica's gonna pull her stuff out too, right?
But I do have the beacons that you were talking about, the boards. I love them. I use them a lot.
There you got them.
What do you use them for?
It's a new product that you put on any dry erase board. It could be even on a wall, anywhere that's big that you write. There's 4 of them. You put them on the corners. You write, draw, whatever you need to do. And with the same app for the Rocket Book, you scan it and it digitizes it and it transcribes whatever you wrote. And
cool.
what I think is so amazing is that the Rocket Book technology can actually hear, it reads my handwriting, cursive. It understands what I wrote in cursive.
Oh,
Which
that's awesome.
I guess
You don't have my handwriting though.
the full is not my doctor's handwriting either, but it impresses me that it gets it. And it's got this little cool little travel pouch. And so you can move it from one board to another.
That's very cool. Yeah, I'm like Bianca. My handwriting, I have not written in so long that my handwriting is worse than a doctor. Like my first 2 or 3 letters will be nice, and then the rest of it, I'm like, I'm done. And my hand starts cramping too early because I've been typing, not writing for so long. So
Tanya, you might have to mute my mom for a minute.
Uh-oh.
She's always complained about my handwriting.
It is the worst. It is like the worst. And I don't understand this.
She has like calligraphy handwriting.
I have 3 children and not one of them can write properly.
Handwrite, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh, how do you understand that? My son is an English teacher, major in English, and you can barely understand his handwriting.
because writing is an art form these days.
Yes,
It really
It is,
is.
and it's becoming a lost art, unfortunately.
Yes.
Here in the States, a lot of schools no longer teach cursive.
Yeah.
That's so true, Jessica. If I want to write something personal, I just put it in cursive. The kids won't read it.
That's what people say. A lot of jokes now. If you just want to write something in secret, see, because I homeschool my kids, they know how to read cursive, so I would just have to come up with Pick Latin or some other code.
There you go.
If I wanted to hide something.
Yeah.
I can remember, and I mean, I'm a lot older than all of you guys, but my teacher in grade 6, we had a class, an actual class that was called penmanship, and it was every single week. It was like math class or spelling or any of those, right? And she would walk around the room and with a ruler and smack your hand if you were holding the pen incorrectly, or if she saw your wrist moving, right? Because when you write, your elbow moves and not your wrist, right?
I got the ruler on my desk. Whack. If you
Sounds painful.
are left-handed, kids writing left-handed, we got rulers on our
They made you write with your right hand, right?
Yeah.
My sister's left-handed, and it was the same thing in school back then. They would make her change and write with her right hand, which is ridiculous. But,
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
must have
Anyways,
been a teacher.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I used to have decent big, but like 80s writing, right? Big bubble letter, but it still was nice and could be read. And then I don't know, this last 10 years, like I say, everything I do, I type. I have no need for it. So when you don't use it, you lose it. And so what happens is I don't mean to write. So it's for one of 2 reasons. First off, I'm impatient because I can type faster than I can write. So I get impatient trying to get it out quickly. And then secondly, my hand will start to cramp up quickly from holding the pen because I'm used to this. So,
And whiteout's really toxic, so we don't need to use it anymore.
well, this is what I use for whiteout. The few things I need it
No,
for.
it's just an excuse to justify my bad handwriting.
Okay, we'll go back to that then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it's my grandmother used to have amazing penmanship. My mother had amazing penmanship too. Yeah, no, not me. I'm the one in the office that's got the bad penmanship here too. So yeah, I can relate, Bianca, to how it is. I'm constantly getting crap from the girls here. What is this? I can't read this.
Not as bad as a doctor. I'm
Your
good.
printing and writing is so nice. Yeah, nothing compared to mine. So that's why I don't use the Rocket Book and all that stuff. When I get it, I'm like, no, Evernote. Evernote, I'll type in on my phone, I'll type in on the laptop, I'll type in on something. Because especially if I'm in sessions trying to write something really quickly or jot it down, there's just no way I'll have any idea what I was trying to write at that point.
Mhm.
And Evernote, you can turn on the microphone and it will transcribe it for you.
Oh,
So you don't even have to type.
I never even thought about that one.
Great. So when you guys go to conferences, do you typically write your notes out or do you type them?
No, I get the presenter to like send me the slides, and then we just have mental notes.
I
Yeah.
record everything and then it transcribes it.
You record it?
I record it
Oh, wow.
and then I have my transcription.
I never thought of that. What a great idea.
That is
a transcription program.
That is a great idea.
Ones that I like anyway.
Yeah.
And it is a good idea because if you go and you get the slides, so I've got all the slide decks from IPBC, I've downloaded all them, and I've just, we've got a shared space so that anybody, in the team can come and take a look at it. But there's a lot that is said that is not on the slides.
Yes.
So I think I might want to try to record it.
Oh, Kitty.
Record it on your phone?
Aw.
I think, Jessica, you were saying Evernote, right?
Evernote will transcribe, so I have the app on my phone. This is great for when I am driving or I'm busy doing something and I get an idea before I forget. I just press the microphone icon and you just start talking and it will transcribe it. Google Apps will do it too, so if you have like Google Docs or anything like that on your phone, you can also speak to it. And even the web version of Google Docs on your computer, you can just turn on the microphone and start talking and it will transcribe.
The free versions or paid versions only?
I've only used it with the paid version because I have G Suite for myself, but I don't see why it would not be available in the free version, because when you pay, you're paying for the storage and other features. The apps themselves have the same functionality.
Right. Well, I'm going to look that up right now.
And
that's a great idea.
And for instance, this one from September 15th, 2018.
My website, our office manager is my dog. I mean, we work from home and she comes and she greets clients all the time.
That's me.
Permanent in history.
Yes, we work from home. I've been a dog.
So where was that, Leanna? Where was that?
That was website 101.
So that was IPBC 2 years ago.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, there we go. If anybody wants to know what I said, Leanna's got it.
Yeah, right now we know who to go to.
Yeah, is that on your phone that you record?
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you always have to sit at the front of the class?
I know I'm going to have to.
Oh.
No, and I
think I'm talking to it, but I really am not.
Back to the original question, on the free Google Docs, you can do voice typing. I just tested it.
Oh, good.
So in case and nobody knows this trick, if you're on Chrome and you just want to open a new document, you just type docs.new. It will open straight into a blank document. Then just go to Tools, click voice typing, or if you're a keyboard person, it's Control-Shift-S, and then you just start talking.
That's very good. So you know what? I'm going to try that this coming week, and I will report back next Friday.
I want
from San
Bianca's
Jose. So
I want Bianca's cat.
She's full grown at 7 pounds. It's perfect.
I love cats. I would have. Sorry,
I didn't think I'd be a cat lover.
I can't.
Why not? You had Mother Kitty when you were little.
I preferred dogs, but now cats are way less maintenance.
They sure are.
And just as cuddly.
Either.
Just
you
as
didn't
cuddly.
have my cat, Bianca. So we had a cat. He looked just like yours. He was, except for he was big. He was the runt of the litter, and he grew to twice the size of his mother, but he was all black. And when we went and picked him out, it was so cute because there was 2 left, and the one tried to get away, and he curled up on my shoulder and started purring. I'm like, okay, you're coming home with me. And he did. And as he grew, because we took him away too young, she was just, you know what, we're going to dump them on the side of the road if they're not gone. So he was only 5 weeks. So we're like, great, we'll take him. So he was diagnosed with aggressive behavior syndrome and separation anxiety.
Oh, geez.
So you take all that, throw that all together. He was fine during the day to be alone, but as soon as night hit, he would completely flip out. So we couldn't go away without having somebody come and stay. So what we had to do, the first time we did this, and we went out and we actually came up to up to here. And so we just got up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, went, no problem. We paid our neighbor who happened to have their brother, so we paid like their kids to come over and play with Scamp and feed them. And, you know, we had a private, like a fire escape. So we were in an old farmhouse converted into apartments. So our fire escape led to kind of like a private room and then the fire escape. So we could open our back doors and the cats would play back and forth. So no problem the first day. Came home the second day. I guess poor Tammy, who is the mom, had spent all like hours cleaning up because she didn't want us to come home to the mess that the cat made. She thought our house was broken into because when she opened the door to let Kayla in to play with Scamp the next day, excuse me, anything, our cupboards in the kitchen, he had opened them, all the cupboards he could open, and just pushed everything, all of our canned goods right on the floor.
Oh my.
Our cupboards, he like my drawers, so all of my, you know, my bras, my panties, all of that stuff on the floor. He trashed the bed. Everything was off the bed, pillows, everything on the floor. Anything he could get to was just on the floor. So yeah, so it was like, oh my gosh.
No, we
I
lucked
didn't
out.
even work from home back then. So I'm like, where did this come from? And every time we went away, it only was at night. So then we had to start, we're like, thank goodness, you know, back then we were early 20s and we had a lot of friends that still lived at home with their parents. We're like, thank goodness that, you know, you haven't turned into a real adult yet, because now you can come and stay here and get away from your parents and we can go away.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Excuse me. So he was much, and then he turned into an insulin dependent diabetic who needed 2 shots a day for the last 5 years of his life. So cats are not always less work than dogs are. Our dog is a lot of work, but our cat was way more work than our dog.
Wow.
Oh, that was quite a handful you had there.
He was just the cutest little thing. No, I loved him. He was a mama's
Oh, pets
boy.
are just, any pets are good pets. I also have a lizard, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's his name? Poltergeist?
My lizard, Ginger. Yeah, her name's Ginger. She's actually a boy, though. We just found out. But Cole still wants to keep her name Ginger.
That's okay. That's okay.
I have 2 lizards.
Oh, cool. What kind?
Just geckos.
Oh, okay. Yeah, mine's a leopard gecko. Our cat sits there and stares at it, and it comes up to the glass, and it's like.
I have 2 cats that do it. They're gecko sitting. So they're actually their names are Guac and Molly. Guacamole.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Right on.
Cats, 2 dogs. Well, a dog and a half. My mom brings it over all the time, but 2 cats, 2 dogs, 2 lizards.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Almost as new. And 3 kids. Yeah. 3 girls. Yeah.
I have 1 child. We do 1 animal at a time. That's it. That's enough for me. Yeah.
We'll get a dog now that we have a house. One day we'll get a dog. We need to actually get a yard and renovate first, though. But,
right. Yeah. And how's the renovations going?
Good. I actually just had a big IKEA kitchen delivered. So that's going to go downstairs in my mother-in-law's suite. So that'll be a fun weekend ahead of us.
I'm much happier I'm traveling on the weekend and not doing that then.
Yeah. Oh, it's literally like pieces. Have you ever gotten an IKEA kitchen? It's worse. It's like
we have got
my mom and dad have.
We have got a partial IKEA kitchen to the point where we just got basically just the walls, because I've just said, okay, we're going to get to the other part of it, but up against the wall, we just used to have just, that's where the table and chairs was. I said, forget it. We don't use it. I want more cupboard space. So a wall of cupboards from IKEA. And let me tell you, the shelf, there's only like 2 shelves in one of them, 2 shelves in another. We've got 5 of them. And then the farthest one has all the rest of the shelves and hardware. And we've had it over a year. My husband just hasn't gotten back to it. He's like, but I don't have anything to put in there. I'm like, we got lots to put in there. Just give me 6 shelves. So yes, I can relate. Just a little bit. But a whole kitchen, like on walls, and wow, yeah. All right. So, did anybody have any like work questions or bookkeeping related questions?
Oh, that's boring.
I was
We
like,
can
"It's
still talk
Friday,
about the
I'm
other
done
stuff.
with bookkeeping stuff."
I
We
actually do.
do you? Okay. I
I
was saying I
do.
didn't want somebody to come prepared with one and not be able to ask.
I could wait until our phone call, but
And that's okay, which I have to bump it to half hour late because literally as soon as I'm done here, I have to go into a boot camp call that I had to reschedule from earlier.
which is fine. Okay, I got a year-end question that management fees and shareholder journal entry that I have to do. I've never seen this before, but all of a sudden I've got a journal entry for a shareholder credit and a GST payable debit. What?
That was good.
Oh, you're muted, Diane.
Sorry, did I miss the story behind that? Is that a sale?
That's pretty much all the information we got.
It's a journal entry for a year end, a GST payable debit, and a shareholder credit.
Yeah, I know. There should be a third part to that. I think we're all dumbfounded, and if
this is
and if Diane's got nothing, then I mean.
I think, but Diane was out. She needs to hear the whole story.
There's an amount there, right?
Yeah.
But is it like a few $100 or like thousands of dollars?
GST payable. GST payable. 10 grand.
Oh, so it is a big.
And shareholder, the name of the company. 10 grand credit. Recognized GST on 2018. Fees paid to company name not recognized in a prior year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you've seen that before then, Diane?
I have actually. I just actually got similar, a little bit different, and there was a third part to it. You're not getting the whole story in that journal entry for
and
sure.
That's exactly. I'm like, there's something missing.
But it was a situation where they're interrelated companies, and a company was taking a GST that was to do with the other company. So they had to literally move the GST liability, or the other way, the credit, into that other company. And if it was related in any way to a shareholder purchase, then that's where the shareholder loan would come in. But you need a bit more information on that.
If you do that, don't you have to fill out the GST related party thing as well?
No, because in this particular case, what's happening, and I'm assuming a whole lot here, what's happening is that they actually are charging each other GST in every other way. So in my case, for example, we pay rent to a company that's owned by the same shareholders.
Mm-hmm.
And we pay GST on that rent. But they also charge us for all kinds of operating expenses, like property taxes, which has no GST on it, right? But what I recently found out is that I have to charge GST on that property tax if it's actually going to the other company. And we hadn't done that before because we thought, really, they're not paying PST or GST, so why should we on the property tax? But the law says, yes, we had to charge even on that property tax. So therefore we had to move that GST over to the other company. We didn't have a shareholder involved in that, of course, because it was being paid by each company. But if that's a situation where the shareholder didn't pay the GST when they purchased something, then they're moving the GST liability to the company and offsetting what he paid. So the $10,000 should literally be 5% of something.
Yeah,
That's huge. And that's like,
which is
I would
big.
be like, that's not enough information to hold up in an audit, right? But
No.
So it's ITCs.
Yeah, essentially.
Line
Yeah.
103, I guess. Or
Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, I'd be asking the question of, for that kind of money, what it was, and making sure I had the backup for that, because
Well, I'm doing a 2019 year end, so it's 2018. He's saying.
yeah, right. So they've gone back and done an analysis. This is from the accountant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've gone back and done an analysis of the intercompany stuff, or obviously relating it through a shareholder paying for something. And he's now brought that forward into this year so that they can take the ITC. But you know, you just can't just book that without having the background, because that's going to get flagged.
Yeah, so you're saying the shareholder is said that they've fronted an expense for the company.
That's right.
Like from a year, okay.
From last year,
That's a big purchase.
It is.
that's like a $200,000 purchase.
Leanna, you're in BC, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's not that bad then. I can imagine if it was HST.
Yeah. But I would want to know what the heck that was that the shareholder had purchased.
You'd think that would be an asset. It would affect something else. If it was that big a purchase.
It did. And probably in 2018 they had booked it, but they just did not break out the GST.
Didn't assess the GST. So, okay.
But you should still know what the heck that was, and make sure that you can actually document that, because $10,000 is a huge, that's kind of like the line in the sand for Revenue Canada. Yeah. If you send in a invoice that you're going to get a ITC for $10,000 on, every single time you will get a request for a copy of that invoice.
Of course. Well, and they're doing a lot of audits right now. They've they've hired, what was it, 2,000 people. Now they're hiring 5,000 more between this year and 2021 just to do GST audits.
And it's a mechanic, so should it not be PST as well?
Well, PST, there's no ITC, right? There's no ITC for that. So if it got booked in 2018, they probably booked any PST at that point.
But would she need to self-assess it at this point though, right? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
No, because the shareholder, is the shareholder a company or an individual?
Just a company.
It's a company.
Yeah. It's a corporation. Both of them are.
You would have had it on your assets. You would have had backup of a purchase.
Something happened in 2018 of a large amount.
Transaction.
The accountant deals with the other shareholder. Sorry, I gotta go.
Okay.
I'm taking a client right now.
Ask for more information, Leanne, but it can happen that way. It's not like it's a bogus transaction.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye. Talk soon. I'm like, again, that's just crazy that they wouldn't provide again the rest of that information. So because that's not something small, that's a big purchase, and you're guaranteed Sierra is going to come in and audit.
But you bet that the accounting firm has the information, because they did it back in 2018, right?
And who handles most GST audits?
I know, exactly.
Right?
I know. So I think Leanne just needs to ask them for that backup so that she can actually have that on file. But that's what's happened. Somebody's bought something in one company that they've then transferred to another company, and they've got to transfer the GST.
The shareholders obviously had the conversation with the accountant. She could also just ask her client.
Often they don't understand though. Like that could be, I don't know.
But what was the purchase you talked about? They obviously talked about it at the
But there will actually be a bill of sale or something that she can fall back on.
You think so?
Yeah. And someone just realized this year that they didn't ever take the ITC.
That's a big ticket to just, wow.
I know, it's crazy. I mean, that you would think that would be like a building purchase. Like that's $200,000. Like that's, Well,
It
maybe
could
not
very well be.
purchase in Vancouver, but
It very well could be that it's a company that is, transferring that building into their other company's name. Putting it into a holding company so that it can't be, it's separated from the actual operating company.
Yeah.
It could be something as simple as that, right?
But to miss that in the prior year end, like that would involve I don't know. It's crazy. It'll be interesting to find out if she lets us know.
Yeah, I'm sure she will.
Not that it's any of our business. We're always so nosy.
Good
Do you
point.
find as bookkeepers, you just have this urge or eager to know the whys all the time?
Yes, drill down and find out the details.
Oh my
Must
goodness.
do.
That's so correct. That's not any of our business, but yeah.
But no, you want to know. Like, I get it. So let me throw something out here. And I would love to know what I want to do, but I would just love to know what you guys would do. So we have a client we disengaged with as of yesterday. It was their choice. We said, hey, by the way, like a whole bunch of stuff crept up. We almost tripled their price if they were going to stay with us. They said, nope, they're disengaging, no problem. We finished the end of the month out. They've got a payroll to run next week. We sent them a few days ago. We sent them their request to add as a user to QBO. They didn't accept it. We turned around and sent, but we know they're using it. I just don't want to deal with this while I'm gone, right? So then I turned around. I canceled them as of 5 p.m. yesterday. We went in and canceled them off my subscription. So now they can get it to transfer to there. Today, all of a sudden it hits me. I'm like, crap. They've got to run payroll next week. This is going to come out next week when I'm gone, back and forth. I don't want to deal with the headaches. So then we called them and we said, you need to accept this user so that we can transfer the master admin to you on the file. They finally went in and accepted the user. And then we couldn't get the master admin changed over. So we said, okay, we've got a call book for 1:15 to figure out why we can't do this because we are not here next week. This needs to be done today or you can't access your books next week to run your payroll. So we call there and it turns out because they never accepted the billing information and re-entered the billing information. So until they do that, we can't transfer the master admin over. We called them back, left them a message and sent them an email to say they need to do this. We close at 4:30. It needs to be done because we aren't here next week. So the dilemma is, by show of hands, he would just say, listen, we gave them plenty of notice. We're not in next week. I just won't respond to that one. Or, I mean, I really am doing a little bit of work next week. I'm on the fence on this. Because he was we're on Facebook Live, aren't we? He was a not nasty person yesterday and started getting really crabby because we told him we wanted everything submitted by the 28th in order to have it processed in time. On the 29th, they hire somebody new and start submitting all this paperwork for this new person. So Sandra called and said, we will, just to let you know, it was supposed to be, and they were still submitting stuff yesterday at like 3 p.m. Even though we told them the 28th, they were still submitting, but we processed it all anyway. So at 5 p.m., everything was done. But Sandra had called him and said, listen, we said the 28th, we will do it as a favor. So his snarky response back was, well, thanks for doing as a favor what we're paying you to the end of the month to do anyway. My response back to that was that I picked up the phone, I called him in a few minutes, and if you look at your contract, your agreement, we are not paid to do your payroll. When you started with us, everybody was a subcontractor. You snuck payroll in there. We've never increased your price, yet we've been paying for the subscription. We've been paying for the pay per person, and we've been doing it because there was a communication here. So I said, we're not actually contracted to do any of this. We will still do it as a favor for you. And I sent him the agreement because he says, no, if you look. So I sent him the agreement and he emailed back. He says, oh, yes, I see. It was a proposal I was looking at, not what I accepted. Yeah, here's your signature. So what would you guys do?
I feel like you should.
I do have read receipts on my email. So if I see that they opened it, I did my part.
So I don't think you need to justify your disengagement. And I think you did everything you needed to do. And there's this thing that I say, and it's called NMP, and it means not my problem. You've disengaged.
Yeah.
And it's one thing to assist them, but they have someone else in charge of what's happening. And if they are confused and you need to sort of coach the new bookkeeper on a new process, but they're still in charge of initiating it all, that's one thing.
Right.
But you can't just keep the responsibility in your lap. The responsibility is theirs.
And they
It
disengaged.
And they
were
disengaged.
They did.
And
Yeah.
if next week you need to spend an hour or half an hour on the phone with them, walking them through a new procedure or like how it was done, whatever, then that's one thing, but it shouldn't be on your lap to initiate and roll out.
Well, and that's it, because what's going to happen is they're going to transfer the billing. If the billing isn't transferred by 4:30, all it is, it's 2 seconds for me to log in. Once I see they've taken the billing, log in, transfer master admin, and I'm done. But without that, they won't. Oh, yeah, exactly. Just
right?
Exactly.
I have this sign in my desk to remind me because I've been through this. It's not my problem.
Yep, exactly. Actually, but now that I think about it, they are on it as a user, and if they transfer the billing, they probably still could run payroll. They would just be limited to certain things that they could do now that I'm actually thinking about it. Yeah. Okay.
Unfortunately, sometimes I think clients do get spoiled because we give them so many opportunities to help them. And, you know, sometimes the deadline's there and you just can't do any more than you've already done. You just got to walk away and, you know, you've done the best you can. You gave them the deadlines clearly, you communicated it. Now it's, you know, it's going to be unfortunately, but that's what happens.
Yeah.
They have to follow through. And if they choose not to follow through, it's on their shoulders, not yours.
Yeah, well, and that's it. We sent him that first email was several days ago.
Yes.
He emailed. He's like, I emailed that last night. Why don't I have access? Well, because we were closed when you sent the email, first off. Mm-hmm. Secondly, as soon as we opened and we got the email, we did it, and then he let it drop for 2 days.
Do you mean he literally has a minute?
Yeah,
he has a minute.
About that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He literally has 1 minute. And I don't think that email's come in. So I'm curious, you know.
I don't think
I would check if I were you.
Would even have this conversation about here's the deadline, you need to do everything you need to do, and that's it. I don't think any other business would probably even feel so bad as we do because we really take it so personally, and so, you know, we just want to do the best for them.
Okay, he says the permissions you have on our account do not allow us to modify it. He has to accept. He emailed back at 3:55. So Sandra, I don't think you want to give him a quick call or an email. There was an email that was sent to him to take over the transfer of the account. That's the only way to do it.
I'll talk to you when you get off.
Okay, because when he's logging into an account that's view only essentially. Until he takes over the payment details, nobody's paying for it. It's view only. Anyway, she says he's done it. He's going to talk to me. She'll talk to me and I'm done. So maybe we don't even have to worry about that. But I'm just like, do I, don't I?
So when you guys disengage from a client, I just disengaged from a client a couple of weeks ago. And then my last email to them was, okay, here's my bookings link to my calendar. And these are my consulting rates. And they're substantially different than what I billed them for. They're way higher. So, and they didn't even bat an eye, luckily. And they've, you know, booked a couple things with me to help, you know, get the new bookkeeper up to speed with what was happening over the last, you know, few years. And so I was super impressed with the transition. I thought it would be a lot different. But do you guys have that? Do you have like a much higher rate to go back in and help the new bookkeeper get on board? Yeah.
I do, but I've never actually put that in there like as part of that email. I mean,
well, I knew they were going to need me, so I knew.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's actually a really good idea.
The engagement letter just talks about any additional services will be a separate rate, and I don't tell them what the rates are, but if they contact me, oh yes, they're higher.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. Well, we are 4:31 and I need to jump straight onto another call.
Okay.
So thank you everybody for joining us on this wonderful Friday.
For me,
Have a great time in San Jose.
Yes.
And I will be here live from the conference this time next week. So
okay.
I'll be making sure.
Travel safe.
Corner.
Bye.
All right.
Okay. Have fun, ladies.
Bye everyone. Take care.